I'm Connie Brunch. I'm the Executive Director of Lakota Funds. Lakota Funds is a native CDFI that serves the Pine Ridge Reservation. We are actually one of the oldest, if not the oldest, native certified CDFI. We're almost 30 years old. And so with that has come a lot of experience. We have a long list of what I like to refer to as best practices, which is basically an eloquent way of saying what not to do. With that, I guess a lot of the lessons we've learned is in the types of loans that are likely to be repaid, and knowing what it takes basically to, that our goal here at Lakota Funds is to create an economy. And that economy we feel is going to be built with businesses, either new businesses starting here or the current businesses expanding. So our loans currently go up to $300,000, and with the help of a consultant, we have actually identified the fact that Lakota Funds should be lending about $1 million a year if we're ever going to get towards that all-important sustainability, self-sufficiency ratio. And so with that, and I'm very numbers driven, and so knowing that it's been my goal since I got here in 2008 as the loan portfolio manager to grow our loan volume, to help Lakota Funds identify how to meet our own internal goals towards that self-sufficiency goal by deploying more loans every year. And then at the same time balance that with what's really needed to grow this economy, what kind of businesses are needed, and that's kind of easy here because we need every kind of business. And I feel like we've made good progress with that. Our loan volume has actually grown. In 2008 I think we approved something like $53,000 in loans, and the next year we actually did $350,000 or so, and almost doubled it the next year. And so this year I'm happy to report that we're at an all-time high. I'm hoping to reach $1 million, but as of today we've lent out, deployed over $808,000. So we are doing a good job. We're getting to that point that I feel like Lakota Funds needs to be, and meeting the needs of our members, or of our clients for the most part. So that being said, it was a struggle for me to find a way to serve artists, to meet the needs of those artists, and we have plenty of artists who have needs, obviously, but we have just struggled to identify the type of loan product that would work to meet those needs, because artists typically, I think I would guess that they, for the most part, they're probably going to need something less than $1,000, maybe even $500, but at the most maybe $5,000. But what we found in the past is that following the same policy and requirements that every other borrower has to follow doesn't necessarily work for our artists. And that's been hard for us to figure out. But because our artists are gone, typically, maybe 6 months out of the year, you're not going to be able to reach an artist who's on the road. They also typically don't have enough collateral, and probably have no credit history. So they have no credit score, or not a great score. So it's super, super hard, but I just want to say thank you to First Peoples Fund and actually First Nations Development Institute last year for the grants that we were awarded, so that we could kind of pursue developing the ways that we can work with artists. Because I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before, that I joined a meeting where First Peoples Fund described the results of their market survey. I think Kathleen Pickering-Sherman was even at the meeting because she's the one who did the survey. And it reminded me that it doesn't matter necessarily if it's going to be the best loan. Artists are such a critical part of our culture, of our communities here, that it's worth figuring out a way to serve them. And so with that, then we were awarded both grants last year, and so started what we call the Building Native Art project. And with that, then we've been able to build basically a relationship with a handful of artists and encourage them to recognize, first of all, recognize their talent and really help them understand that it could be a means of, it could actually result in a business, you know, if they let us help them work it that way. And so with that, then we were able to offer some of the artists business loans, small business loans, with an equity contribution of up to 20%, and I think that was up to $2,500 or 20% of the loan request could be written off as a grant, basically, forgivable grant, to reduce the loan balance and reduce the collateral requirement. Or you could use that equity portion to help them meet the needs of the requirements of an IDA, the Individual Development Account, which is a match savings account. So they could use that to purchase whatever business equipment or further their business. We've had great success with that, and it feels like with that, in addition to the trainings that Yolanda Clifford has led with great success, and then also in developing the client profile, the artist profile, which we'll have available up on our artist directory on our own website. And it's kind of just in the development stages, but I see great potential for continuing our work with artists, and really excited about applying again next year, this year actually, to pursue testing a new loan product that I think we've identified that would work well for artists. So again, it's about relationship and really just Lakota Funds reminding me basically that the artists are an important they're an important industry basically in our economy, but there's so much more than that too. I think about how I know things like the art, the beadwork, whatever, the crafts that that for the most part are traditional to Lakota culture are more than just the art work that they produce. I know of families that come home after school and after work, and that's what they sit down and do together. And so I think it goes a lot deeper than just being able to produce artwork and sell it. You know, it's just it goes a long ways to strengthening the community through a stronger family and passing on those traditions. So again, just happy to have the opportunity to work with First Peoples Fund and continue pursuing this.